Thank you. While I might be losing my voice, I refuse to lose my spirit. So here we go. Miles Davis, the father of cool, once famously said, "Man, sometimes you have to play a long time to sound like you." See, for centuries, music was carefully planned. Every note, every measure, every line meticulously placed to create a harmony. Until the beginning of the 20th century, when a desire to express oppression and anger creates the jazz movement. And when jazz starts, it goes beyond the notes. You need to know the notes, but you need to understand what the other person's giving you. You need to reflect, you need to react. And that's what Miles Davis did. He was a prodigy. He started playing at the age of 13, and by 18, he was playing with legends like Dizzy Gillespie and John Coltrane. What he means when he says that is reflected in our own leadership journey. See, he could play like Dizzy, and he could play like Coltrane, but he needed to find his sound. And as leaders, we work with great leaders, and we emulate what they do. And we learn from bad leaders what not to do. But we need to find our own leadership. We need to grow. Because research shows that inauthentic leadership will decrease morale, decrease productivity, and end up increasing turnover. So what do? How do we shorten the time? When you work in a high urgency industry like education or health, you can't tell people, "Hey, I'm gonna get it right by year 5. Yeah, your kid will be out of school by then, but the next kids will do great." You gotta get it right quick. So how do we shorten the time it takes to find our sound? First thing is, learn about yourself. A really powerful shift for me was when I stopped thinking about what I wanted my next step to be and started thinking about what problem am I passionate about solving. See, my childhood is symmetrically split in half. I was born in New York to a Puerto Rican family, moved to El Paso, Texas, and when my parents divorced at the age of 9, we packed up, moved to Puerto Rico. I knew Spanish, I could speak it, but I couldn't read it, I couldn't write it. So I went from your typical nuclear suburban family to a single mom of 3 in the blink of an eye. And I've always loved learning, but I didn't always love school. So the problem I'm passionate about solving is how do we make school a better experience for kids? And that drives me every day. You need to find what drives you. What's that problem you're passionate about solving? Second thing is, how do others perceive you? Imposter syndrome's real. And sometimes we don't see in ourselves what others see in us. Simon Sinek in his book, Find Your Why, gives a quick exercise. He says, find a friend, not a family member, not a spouse. Find a friend and ask them, why are we friends? And they're going to give you a really surface level answer. Oh, because you're cool. I like you. Okay, no, I appreciate that. Why? Why do you like me? Why am I cool? What makes me cool? What makes me different? There are billions of people in the world. You chose me as a friend. Why? And when you drill down to that essence, it gives you an idea of what others value in you. And you need to make sure you enhance that in your leadership. The last one is, don't be afraid to stand out. My brother-in-law gave me really powerful advice once. We're driving through Old San Juan, and Old San Juan is a series of interconnected one-way streets. It's terrible to navigate, full of artists, full of tourists, full of everybody. And he was an artist that lived there. He said, I got the secret, don't worry about it. Just look where everyone's going and go the other way. So we're never gonna get where we're going. Like, do you live here or do I live here? Look where everyone's going and go the other way. I went, okay. And I did it. And we got there because it works. We're so prone to take the path that other people are taking to solve the problems that exist. But if those paths led to a solution, the problem wouldn't exist. So don't be afraid to see where everyone's going and take a different path. So this all sounds great in theory, but as you come across adversity, as you go to implement these 3 things, stay focused on the outcomes. Don't get married to a process, get married to a result. So think to yourself, what am I trying to achieve? And sometimes you have to make 3 rights to get to where you're going, because the straight lane is blocked. But if you always focus on where you want to go, if you always keep your compass in your pocket, you got it. Secondly, embrace vulnerability. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Surround yourselves by people that are smarter than you, but then go one step further and actually listen to them. Because I've worked for too many people who hire smart people and then tune them out. Bring in those smart people. If you walk into a room and you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Switch rooms. As time goes on, consistently finding your voice, making mistakes, owning those mistakes. Make sure those mistakes are aligned to your core values. If I make a mistake, it's always going to be for the benefit of a kid. And sometimes it's a mistake, and I'll own it. But at least it aligns to my core values. And I hope that by following these simple steps, you'll be able to shorten the time to find your own leadership sound. Thank you.